Oh man, in this video I need to talk about an altcoin which I do not have enough of. Yes, I'm actively looking to add this altcoin, and no, it's not Phantom, it's not Casper, and it's not XRP, nor is it Pepe. I'm going to reveal which altcoin it is that I'm actively looking to load up on, and it's probably going to surprise a bunch of you guys. Now we're going to start off here with Bitcoin. Bitcoin here sitting nicely again back above that 42,000 level, and this move has been incredibly strong. We cannot say that enough. The bullish momentum here on Bitcoin is just mind-blowing. Let me just try to put this into perspective for those who are still doubting what Bitcoin can do, because we took this crazy move here. You can see this upward channel here, the purple upward channel. From this point when we bounced, this price just went insane. Then it went insane again. It went again. And at this point, you're thinking, guys, this is parabolic. I mean, that line I've just drawn is almost vertical. Surely it wants to come down and retest, right? Surely it wants to just do the healthy thing and come and find some support. But no, it decides to consolidate in an upward channel. And so we were in that upward channel here, consolidating here on Bitcoin, which is hugely impressive, right? The fact that it not only didn't want to consolidate downwards, but it consolidated upward pattern. And then this pattern is historically a bearish pattern. More times than not, this pattern breaks to the downside. But Bitcoin didn't have it. It went boom, off we go, break to the upside. And now look, guys, it just doesn't stop, because if you look at it now, it's going, not only do we not want to come down and retest 40, which by the way is a key psychological level. I mean, it would be perfectly fine if it wanted to come and retest down here before continuing its move upwards. It goes, no, it's enough for us just to retest the support line here, and off we go, turn that resistance into support, and we want to go again. So this market is hugely aggressive right now. The flow of money into crypto right now is very aggressive, and we're seeing a big fundamental shift to risk rotating on. But with all that going on, I'm starting to look at my portfolio and go, you know what? I'm not chasing Bitcoin right now. I need to be looking for discounts. And discounts won't be seen hugely in many places, but there are certain areas where you'll start to see relative discounts appearing. Now, yesterday, we covered off the important path to altcoin season. Loads of you guys will ask me, when are the altcoins going to catch up? Why are the altcoins bleeding? And I said, guys, don't worry about it. And if you haven't watched that video from yesterday, I'm going to link it up for you. I explain all of this in detail. But what was that first phase I explained? I want to focus a little bit on that. The first phase you'll see is Bitcoin starting to run. Thereafter, where does that money flow? Money flows into Ethereum, but it struggles to keep up with Bitcoin. Ethereum goes back and forth with Bitcoin and starts outperforming it. Now, in phase 2, Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin, and we hear talks of the flippening. Yes, guys. So whilst the market is catching up with what's going on with Bitcoin, I need to start thinking about the other stuff, because we are in that Bitcoin run. So go watch my video from yesterday where I explain that, look, Bitcoin dominance can still have another leg up. I still expect this move here on Bitcoin to continue to move, but there's nothing for me to do here. If we were doing what we were supposed to be doing and buying Bitcoin at 15,520 and 22 and 25 in those areas, you're taking the rewards of that Bitcoin move. And that is why I always say eat your veg. But where is this move going to go next? The move, 9 times out of 10, will go to Ethereum next. And so I need to make sure I position myself. And anytime I look at my portfolio, even though I'm pretty good and I've been eating my veg, I look at Ethereum and I go, you know what? I need to get more in this, because for those of you who haven't been around in the cycle before, I want to tell you a story about the cycle previously. I want to tell you the story of what Ethereum had done in the past, because people seem to be forgetting. Now, whilst I do that, you guys need to smash up the likes. You guys need to subscribe. And I need to see a bunch of you in our Telegram community. That is where you're getting all the extra alpha. That is where you're seeing what trades I'm taking. That's where you're seeing exactly how I trade altcoins, because I do short-term trading as well as our long-term investing as well. So make sure you're in there as well. So I want to take you back to this story just around that kind of pandemic time. And when you were having the cough back in the early parts of 2020, Ethereum was around $200. Yes, guys, $200. And Ethereum decided around this period here, okay, towards December of 2020, which is quite later into the cough, right? After Bitcoin was starting to run, it decided it wants to go on a crazy move. And it went eventually here all the way to touch up to 4,380. And I want to remind you of this, because when Ethereum decides to run, it runs incredibly. And particularly on the second leg up here, which culminated in November, it ran up as high as 4,800. If you weren't around in the market at the time, you will not know that at the time, everybody was coming out and saying Ethereum is going to flip on Bitcoin. The market cap of Ethereum is going to expand bigger than Bitcoin. Now, of course, now Ethereum is much more of a mature asset class, as is Bitcoin. But those conversations will always creep up. Those conversations will start to come again. And so for now, it's easy to forget that Ethereum will go on a big run. And that is why I want to make sure I have enough allocated in Ethereum that when that money flows away from Bitcoin, I'm not only doing well on the Bitcoin side, but I can take advantage of the Ethereum side as well. And I want to point you to this important chart. This is the ETH BTC chart. And for those of you who aren't familiar, you want to monitor how ETH is doing relative to Bitcoin. And right now you can see this has been collapsing, right? Ethereum has been underperforming against Bitcoin ever since this period here. Remember, this is a weekly chart. So where I'm showing you now is August 2022. So from August 2022 all the way to where we're at now, Bitcoin has been a better hold than Ethereum. But guess what? We're coming up to major support here at the 0.05 level on ETH versus BTC. Now, if I zoom out a little bit, you'll see there are a few key levels on this chart. The first one is the one I just showed you, 0.05. There's another key one at 0.04. And then there's another one at 0.17, which is pretty much the base of where we saw this hit in the 2019 period. Okay, so what I'm looking to do is now that we're coming to major support on Ethereum, in other words, Bitcoin has outperformed Ethereum over this period. Let me just show you the measured move on this. Okay, Bitcoin has done 38% better than Ethereum. But now I want to look for it to bounce. Now is the time I want to be laddering in at these levels. And if we fall more, I want to be buying more Ethereum relative to Bitcoin at that point as well. So for me, this is the coin that I do not have enough of. Every time I look at my portfolio, I'm like, yeah, I've been DCAing into Ethereum and Bitcoin, but I just know when Ethereum starts running, I'm just going to regret the fact that I didn't have enough. So for me, I'm frantically trying to mobilize some cash to get more into Ethereum. I like it at this price point. Now, of course, it's not easy, right? Psychologically, now, when you're looking at Ethereum at 2200, you feel like you're chasing green candles. But that is why it's important to look at the ETH BTC chart as well. Yes, on a relative basis, Ethereum is doing much better, right? You could have been buying it, even down here at 1500 just in October. Right, and it's gone on a crazy rally. So if you're looking at it on this chart, yeah, you're buying in now at 43% later, which is not ideal. But still, relative to Bitcoin, that's where you got to be looking at that decision as well. Now, in an ideal world, you have unlimited amounts of stable coins, and you can go ahead and you can buy Bitcoin and you can buy loads of Ethereum and the rest of it. And ideally, that's what I try to do. I try to get as many dollars cash flow as I can, and I try to allocate it into crypto. But at the same time, it would be silly of us to not identify this and try to get some of our Bitcoin profits and move them further down into the phases. And I'll be looking to do that as well. I'll be looking to trim just a little bit of that Bitcoin. Remember, I like to keep Bitcoin at 40 to 50% of my portfolio. But when Bitcoin dominance climbs and Bitcoin goes on a crazy run, that easily can come out of kilter. That can start to skew itself. So I will always trim my Bitcoin back into that 40, 50% level, take those profits, and I will start mobilizing those personally into Ethereum. And then likewise, I'll mobilize some Ethereum profits into other large caps and then eventually alt season later on in the cycle as well. That's how I play the market. I want to keep those asset classes in the percentages that I want them in my portfolio. If they grow too far to become a bigger percentage, like if Bitcoin becomes 70% of my portfolio, I need to trim it back down to 50 and use those funds to put more into Ethereum. So there you have it, guys. That's what I'm watching here in this crazy market. Also, there's another critical thing I have to be sharing with you guys. It's this. Something critical just happened. And I really wanted to bring this to your attention because up until now, this market was pricing in that we were going to get a pause at this next FOMC meeting. And they're still pricing it in. But the keen-eyed amongst you guys will notice something very, very important. This. 1.4% of the market, for the first time here, have just priced in that maybe, just maybe, will get a surprise cut. Can you imagine, guys? A cut in the December meeting, which is just 8 days from now. Now, personally, that is wishful thinking. I don't think we're going to get a cut. And if we did, Bitcoin and stocks would just absolutely moon. Markets will be hugely, hugely positive. But guys, this is the main trend of today. The reason stock market and Bitcoin are doing right now is not because of the spot ETF. It's not actually because of the Bitcoin halving. It's because markets are moving away away from the thoughts and the experiences of a tightening cycle and starting to think about the fact that central banks are going to become our friends again. They're going to start pausing their rate hikes and even starting their cut soon in 2024. And that is why we're seeing investors scramble to get their markets funds allocated into the market. Guys, if you appreciate this type of video, smash up the likes. Don't forget to subscribe. I hope to see a bunch of you guys in our Telegram community, ijazcrypto.com/TG. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.